Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm always ready, baby. Come on, let's go.
Yes, we're about to talk that stuff. Real Housewives of Potomac, Crabbles, slapping tables. Mia and Jacqueline meet again. I mean, a lot happened in this episode, so let's get into it. So
Okay.
the ladies are back in Potomac, and it starts with Candace going to. Is it Kiana? Or I think I called her Kierna the whole last.
Whatever.
Okay,
Whatever.
KK, Kierna, whatever. So she has a spa, and I don't know what all it does, but one of the things they do is laser lady parts, and so Candace is going to get hers lasered so she doesn't have to worry about shaving or waxing or whatever. And yeah, and she's trying to see because I guess in the DR she mentioned that it was painless, and
How's it less painless?
okay, so I haven't had. I've had a laser treatment before. I'll say that, and it's not painful. At least when I had, it wasn't painful. It was more of like a. It's almost like a zap. It's just like a, almost like maybe a little like pinch, but not a hard pinch. Just kind of like so you feel something, but it's not painful. And
Okay.
they have like they can put something on you prior to make sure it's
No.
not numb, but and then
Dull.
yeah, and then the lady I had ice just in case, like, but I didn't need to use the ice. But any case, apparently Candace used that as an excuse before. So poor Chris. So she'll have no excuse anymore because it'll all be done with the laser. Wendy came and joined in, and I don't know about how your friends are, but I don't want my friends there for that treatment. And I don't know. I guess they're comfortable with looking at each other like that because they did in Mexico last year.
I don't know if my friends are just old,
Mm-hmm.
but one thing we like, I like besides their chest, I don't see any part of their body at all.
Yeah.
I've never seen any parts of their body.
I know my cousin, she's younger, but she's open like that. And she was, well, I'll tell you offline because I was just like, just in case people put connections. But um, but anyway, she's done something similar. It wasn't the exact same thing, but it's something similar where you just have people looking at your stuff like that. But yeah. So I guess it's a thing maybe with a younger crowd. But if I'm going to get anything like that, just me and a lady, like, yeah. So anyway, I was skip. I mean, I think Wendy mentioned her show or something. Blah blah blah. I mean, I do like Wendy too, but it was kind of like a filler. But Kiana mentions the trip and how the girls didn't check on her, and Wendy was just like, "We actually were very concerned about you on the trip." And why they show a clip, I do think it was out of context, but she was just like, "I'm not sharing a room with Kiana." So
Yo, girl. Yo, girl.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say she's my girl, but I do like Wendy. She ain't my girl, but I do like Wendy. Now, I did think
Okay,
about it.
so look,
I did rewind it because I was just like, let me listen to what she said. So, I don't think it was like I'm not going to share a room with Kiana, but I can share with other people. I think she wasn't going to share a room with nobody, and I think I don't know what the context was, but I felt like she was just kind of like, I ain't sharing a room with Kiana. Like, why don't you share a room? They got you sharing a room with Kiana. Like, I ain't sharing a room with her. Like, I'm gonna get my own room. That's what I took it. I didn't take it was against her, but more like I ain't staying with nobody. Kind of like
okay,
Kiana.
so this is like, and you know what? I can't begrudge them because they're women of a certain station in life, right?
Mm.
So they don't really have to share a room with anybody. However, when you go on trips, I've been on plenty of trips, and maybe the people that I hang out with, we're all frugal. We're all trying to save $1 so we can spend it in other places. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not even talking about my frat brothers where it was 10 of us in one room. Okay, like
Yeah.
let's be
Yeah.
real, let's be honest. But my friends, nah, it's 3, 4 of us deep in the same bed. No, I mean not 4 of us in the same bed, but
Okay.
four
Right.
of us in the same room,
I'm
two in the
not doing
same
that.
bed.
Yeah.
You were like, no, no, no. That ain't my life.
I ain't going. But no, I do get you. Like I have been on. To me, it depends. So like, if if I'm on a trip, well, I've never done this. I'm trying to think. I did actually. My cousin, for her 40th birthday, she paid for the accommodations. And it was just like a condo where everybody can fit. And in that case, I'm not going to be choosy. Like, yes, I'm going to sleep with somebody else in the bed because I think it was like 3 rooms, but I'll sleep with somebody else in the bed because I ain't pay for this or whatever. But if I'm paying for it and my understanding is that I'm getting my own bed, then I want my own bed. But if I'm paying for it and they know it's a double occupancy, to me, like I need more information. I don't want to get there and you assigning me with somebody else and then you and 2 other people got their own beds. Like, how can I get my own bed? You know, to me, that would be different. But yeah. But hopefully, yeah, I guess I haven't been on group trips in a while, other than like a cruise where I just stay with Anthony. But yeah, I haven't been on a trip with, other than I guess the last was probably my Delta reunion. And yeah, I had a roommate. I mean, we had our own bed, but you know, I paid for that double occupancy. Come on, LS, we get it together. Okay, so let's see. Kiana mentions Candace and Robin, and you know what's going on. And Candace says that basically she doesn't want to throw gasoline on a fire that they're trying to distinguish or something like that. Like I think I get the context. Like instead of adding more stuff on there to make people matter, it seems like it's something that could work out. She's just gonna kind of leave it alone. But she did say she was privy to some information. So when Robin was using the word choice of defamation, that it was interesting because she actually had some information that was actually defamation. And did Wendy say what law school? I wrote down what law school did you go to, but she did use that when Candace was talking about her, that was defamation. And I don't know, I think it is a legal definition of defamation. I think one of them is it has to be, it has to be false, but I thought it had to be like some monetary or some kind of way, like it affected you where you couldn't do something that you normally do. But I'm not a lawyer either, so moving on. Yeah. So Grace is heading off to school. So they kind of show Giselle and the girls saying goodbye and packing up Grace and heading to school. And they kind of flash back with those years with Giselle and her girls. And I will say that is the best part of Giselle, because other than that, she's been a hot mess this season. But that's a redeeming part of her. Now, do you remember when you were dropped off to Southern? Were you like scared? Did you cry or what? I don't think you cried, but
no, I did not cry. I was happy. I wanted my mom to leave. Why are you still here? Can you please go? That's exactly what I was thinking. I wanted my mom to leave, and she made a big deal about being there. Like, no, you're my baby. No, I need you to go. I want you gone.
No, was she trying to unpack you and stuff?
Was she trying to do what?
Like unpack, like get your bed together and stuff?
No. Oh. Okay, what she wanted to do was she wanted to buy stuff. She wanted to, which, by the way, hey, you want to buy me? All right, come on, let's go. But please don't be here with me. Gotcha. Please don't, because my mom was the type of, she would go up to, can you be my son's friend? That was my mom. So I needed her to leave.
Yeah. I needed her to leave. So I remember I was excited to go to school to Southern, and the only person I knew was Tawana. Like, that's the only person I knew. And I think we got there at different times because I don't think I knew when she was there or anything. But when I got there, my parents left me there, and I think they went to Kmart. Remember Kmart? And they picked up some just some stuff, like you said, like shopping, cleaning stuff and things like that for the room. And I was in the room by myself. Mara had not made it there yet. And I got sad. I didn't cry, but I was like, I'm gonna be alone. My parents are gonna be gone. It just kind of hit me then. And then they came back, and I had a cousin in Baton Rouge. We went to visit her, and my other cousin, I had 2 there. And then that night, we got back so late, Mara was asleep when I got back. But I met her in the morning. But anyway, I just thought about that when she was dropping her baby off at school. So named Robin and Sharice. So she goes to visit Sharice, and Ashley goes too, and was hating on their grass, talking about her grass looked thirsty. But they all go in, and Ashley mentions that She's been doing all this stuff.
The stuff you pick up, like I'm watching the same show you watching. These things just go over my head. Like
she was like, "Well, this grass is thirsty." I'm like, "Not you just got in the house. All you had was concrete before this." But anyway, and we have not seen her grass. Well, we did see it in the thing, but in case, she mentions that she's been going through a lot, so she needed a massage. And Sharice shares a story about, I guess, she started bringing, I guess, this guy to her house for a massage. And after he massaged her, he asked if she wanted a vaginal massage. Yeah. Did you
not see this?
It was like before the crab boil, kind of when they were planning or talking about the crab boil. Yeah.
I need to pay more attention. Jesus.
And I was just like, I mean, I'm sure it's a real thing, but I'm just like,
he asked her if she wanted a happy ending.
Yeah. And to me, like,
I don't know. Been like, yeah, come on, let's go.
Now, okay, I get massages, but I've never to me, okay, I know I do go to a lot of the Asian massage places because I feel like they do good massage, like they know the pressure points and all that kind of stuff. Now, I assume they may also be happy ending places. I don't know, but I would assume that's the understanding before we start, that, okay, I will end with a happy, whatever. I'm assuming that will be discussed, not like you finish and be like, okay, so what about that? Yeah, I know you brought me to your home, so I'm assuming you want one of those happy endings. And so she not freaked out, but she claimed she never invited him again or whatever. But yeah.
Then why talk about it? Come on, girl.
Yeah, I'm sure she's like, oh, is that him at the door right now? I said next week. So they discussed the trip, and Robin mentions that Karen is using Vernon as a trainer, and he's not a fitness trainer, and blah blah blah. And she was like, and then she blew up on me, and I was like, I didn't see that as blowing up. I thought she was just like, no, Robin, blah, blah, blah. But to me, the blow up was like the slapping tables. Like, I've seen Karen blow up, and that was not a blow up, Robin. But in any case, I don't know. Sharice is a woman, as far as I know, I don't know if she managed her money well, but I thought she was like wealthy because her husband left her a lot of money. That's my understanding. I know she downsized because it looks like she's in a brownstone-ish type thing or townhome, because at least when they would come to her house, it looked like it was connected to other people. And then also her champagne room was a little like a living room that she threw some champagne in. But in any case, her wigs though, I'm like, they have not gotten better over the seasons, because I would expect her to have tight wigs because she got the money to do it, but her wigs are always struggling. But you probably wouldn't notice because you don't wear wigs.
No, I didn't even know she wore wigs.
Oh, okay. So maybe you're doing good, Sharice.
No, now I'm gonna be looking. That's the thing.
And even it's almost like because they're really good at like the wigs where they can blend them really well and all that kind of stuff. And hers is like she plopped it on and didn't even try. But anyway. Let's see. She mentioned she's thinking about inviting Jacqueline because she feels like Mia and Jacqueline can rekindle their relationship. She's been hanging out with Jacqueline, and so she thinks they can rekindle. She asked about inviting Candace and Karen, and she was cool with it. She said she don't have an issue with Karen. Karen has the issues with her, and they show that blow up in Mexico, I think a couple of times or whatever. But in any case, they transfer to NECA. I wanted to skip this part, but you know what I thought about NECA? Okay. And I think there's another reason why I don't like her. So it's one thing, I will say in most of the shows, even this show especially, they cannot like each other, but if it's something fun, most people are just in it. They're just gonna do it or whatever. So it was two things that I can remember with NECA. I don't know if you remember this, but when they did the fashion show walk or whatever, it was a fun thing. Like nobody was hating, it was just like, I mean, they might have joked, but nobody was hating. And then when they voted for Wendy, she was like, boo, whatever.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was unnecessary. And then also, I don't know, it was a very small comment or whatever, but they did a cheers in a DR and she said something like, she said, hopefully everybody does something, because Wendy gave the cheers, and then she like leaned over to Giselle and said, I can't even think of what she said, but it was something like unnecessary. It's just like, can y'all just have a good cheers, and you can hate later, but like, I don't know. To me, I'm not a big NECA fan. But anyway, she's getting ready for crab boil, getting her makeup done. But she mentions that she is on her last day of IUI pills or whatever. And that's the they have
you know what NECA is missing?
What?
She's missing the ability to give some good reads. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So her storyline, she kind of came in with the drama. Okay, good, great. That got you a cherry blossom,
Mm-hmm.
right? It got you a cherry blossom.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But if you want to stay on this show, you either got to be able to call somebody out or give some good reads.
Yeah.
She's not willing to call people out. She wants to be the peacemaker. Boring.
Mm-hmm. Well, except for Wendy, but other than Wendy, yeah.
Well, I mean, that is her only storyline, right?
Yeah.
Let's think about like the people who get to stay. The people who get to stay are all up in the mix, all up in the drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all up in the drama. They tell us about this. What happened to this?
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, what's Ashley? Besides her husband, what is her storyline? What is her storyline? But but Ashley is all up in the mix, always in the mix. So she gets to stay.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, because I don't know if you saw it trending. I don't know, it might have been a week or so ago. She did a story and she was just like, I really enjoyed my time on Potomac and I loved everybody on the show. And she didn't necessarily say on to bigger and better things or anything like that, but it was the way she did the message had people thinking, I wonder if she's not going to be there next season. So that was trending because she did that message on her story. So we'll see. But I will say, to your point, Ashley did bring, like, if you want the mess, she's going to bring the mess. She's going to ask you them questions that's going to make you fight. She's going to be that instigator. So she definitely played that part. And NECA, to me, even her, because to me, like, on the spot reads can be hard if you're not that person. But the diary room is a time where you can, like, think through, because typically they have like maybe 2 to 3 outfits. So they probably do the diary room a couple of times throughout the season. So you can like plan your reads and make them as good as possible. Like Karen had the whole, she had the mask and she had all the kind of stuff like props. But it's funny. And it's like, okay, it wasn't on the spot, but it worked for the show. Even Candace is good with diary reads. Like she's saying all this stuff, after.
Candace is great.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. NECA needs to work on that. But yeah, so anyway, she also will have to work on not drinking champagne with her pills, and hopefully she's not drinking it with her IUI pills. Hopefully not.
That just sounds dangerous.
It does. And I think you technically you can probably, I don't think they want you to, because if you're trying to get pregnant, their alcohol could halt stuff. So they're advising against that. But it's not hurting the baby because you don't have a baby in there at this point. So,
do you think she's doing that for the show, or do you think that's who she really is? She wakes up drinking champagne.
I hope that's for the show. And it's the stupidest thing to be on the show. Because, like, to me, like, if I'm going to do something like fake something for the show, it's going to be something that will make me likable and make sense. Like, who wakes up drinking champagne with their...
Okay, so let me say, so when it comes to Potomac, there are no illusions about Potomac, about people's coins. Some people got it, some people don't. Mm-hmm. Giselle don't have it. Mm-hmm. Robin don't have it, and yet they're still on the show.
Yeah,
you ain't gotta portray yourself as having all that. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, because I mean, actually, when I think about it, I think. Let me see. Wendy, honestly, may be the only one that got some money. Because if you think about Ashley, she's going through divorce. She ain't got no money. Candace, seem like they always like, not that they're struggling, but Chris don't have a job. Her mom seemed like she worried about stuff all the time. And Candace has a show in her album and stuff, but I don't think it's no money where she ain't worrying. Robin clearly doesn't like... You remember when they went to shop? I think it might have been for the DR or somewhere. And remember back in the day when they would go shopping, the bill would be like $5,000 or $8,000, and Robert's bill was like $65.
Do you, boo? Do you?
So yeah, but anyway, I said all that to say, I don't think, and her husband doesn't have a job either, so I don't think they're not doing bad, but they're probably doing better than us, but Potomac level, no, I don't even know if Karen, because remember they had those tax issues and they rented their house.
I would think that they would have rebounded by now.
Yeah, I'm sure they rebounded, but I guess what I'm thinking is, can an event knock you out where you are struggling again? And I feel like most of them may not be able to recover from some kind of major event where you got to come out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or can you do that or not? I don't know. But anyway, so Karen and Giselle visit. This was a fun little thing. So Karen is making slice and bake cookies, her homemade slice and bake cookies, and they share a drink of 1942 to celebrate Giselle being an empty nester and also Grace leaving. So Giselle tries to convince her to come to Sharice's crab boil, but she mentions that Ray is allergic to crabs. Now, apparently, she has already been to a crab boil and had no problem bringing the allergic crab juice back to Ray, but now it's an issue. Now, I will say it was funny because Karen ain't going. It don't matter if Ray anyway, but she used that as an excuse, and she was like, "Well, I'll let you ponder." And Karen's like, "No, I'm good. I'm good." And so she mentioned that Sharice did invite a special guest, which is Jacqueline, and messy Giselle was just like, "Ooh, this is gonna be good." And Karen was like, "I don't think that's gonna be good," but we were all looking for it because that's what we look for. We like Giselle in that case, like, "Ooh, it's gonna be good." So Sharice has her crab boil. Robin comes to kind of help set up and mentions that grand scam that was the grand dame, but grand scam, whatever, is not coming. And Candace arrives next. And so Robin's like, "Oh, let me open the door." So we're heading down the stairs, realizes Candace, and turns around and go back up. I'm like, oh my gosh, Robin's so childish. Like, you don't remember that?
No, I don't. I don't. I got, you know what it is? I be moving around. I'm watching and I'm listening. I guess I don't be paying attention, but okay, yeah. Please continue. So
you and my husband watch TV the same, because he says he can listen and get it too. Like, he don't have to see everything or whatever, but I be having to focus. So Jacqueline then arrives, and Candace is kind of there awkwardly because it's like Robin, who she don't talk to, Sharice is moving and shaking, and she does talk to Jacqueline though. So Jacqueline mentions that her and Mia are not good anymore, although they were on good terms. They're not good anymore, and so that is kind of like a preface to later. Ashley ends up coming. NECA comes in, Lord, in her crown and sash.
Overdone. Why?
There was
no point. There was no point to that.
None. That Party City crown. I don't know if I don't know why. And I think even Sharice was like, "Is this plastic?" Yes, it is, Sharice. It is plastic. Okay, so let me see. NECA, I guess Jacqueline told NECA to be aware of Mia because Mia is evil. And yeah, as they're talking, it was just like, speaking of the devil, and Mia comes up the stairs. So Mia, her usual self, hi, she hugs. Well, she doesn't hug Jacqueline. She speaks to her. And Jacqueline is like, what is really going on? Because I guess, like she said, they're not on good terms. So Giselle, of course, starts right in with the mess and was like, "Okay, Mia, you said y'all was good, but Jacqueline said y'all not good. What's going on?" And Mia kind of cuts it off. She was like, "Look, at some things we need to discuss that don't have anything to do with the people at the table." And surprisingly, they let them go. And they're like, "Okay." So she sent them to the champagne room to discuss. And
I think that had a whole lot to do with the fact that everybody there was actually rooting for their relationship.
Yeah. And I don't know who was, I think maybe Ashley was, who was it that at that rape thing that that Karen had, and
I
Mia.
think it was Ashley.
Oh, okay, okay. So maybe Ashley, and maybe all of the women knew that she had something because she did mention that it was something that happened between her and Jacqueline's boyfriend. And so maybe that's what she said. It doesn't have anything to do with people. They may have remembered that too, possibly. I don't know, or maybe Ashley. But they let them
So
go.
nah, I think they would have showed us that Ashley told if she
Oh,
did,
okay.
unless it was like a private conversation where the cameras went around.
Possibly. Yeah. And did you hear NECA said, "Well, if y'all need the Grand Dame's assistant, I'm here to serve."
I did. I did.
I
Like,
was just like,
baby, you just got here. You
I
just
know,
got here. You don't even know this girl that's sitting. You don't know her.
right? I'm like, what are you gonna do? Oh my gosh, look, but get on their nerves, like you get on ours. So, me and Jacqueline go downstairs and they start talking, and Mia, to me, for some reason, I don't know, they went back to last season, the argument. So I'm like, is that where they're going back to? Because she was just saying like she was going through a lot. She didn't have anything to give to anybody else. And I'm assuming Mia was talking about with her husband and those financial things. And Jacqueline was like, I didn't initiate things. I was responding to what you did to me or what you said to me. And they flashed back to last season. And I was just like, is this, we still, I don't know. I just thought it was something more recent. But any case, Jacqueline claims she was joking about the whole thing. And she mentions like, what did Mia say? Something about a 65-year-old man married to a young tenderoni. And she was like, he is 72. And she was like, no, well, I'm like, girl, not you knowing. She don't know how old she is or her husband. Because if he's not 65 and she said she was however many years younger than him and he's 72, that makes her older too. But in any case, Mia mentions that Jacqueline was like one of the main concerns in her therapy sessions, and she still has some work to do when it comes to her because of the situation that happened when they were kids. And Jacqueline said that she felt guilty about it, and that's why she gives Mia a lot of passes about her behavior. Now, Jacqueline also mentioned that it had been 2 years since, not 2 years, but she didn't know about it right away. She knew about it 2 years later. And, you know, she would have never like, basically, she would have never kept it a secret. She would have let her know that this is wrong. I know about this. So, yeah, it sounds like it's some deep stuff. They hug it out and seem like they're doing better for now, I guess. But
it seemed like that one little comment from Jacqueline helped Mia a whole lot to move beyond that.
Saying that she didn't know 2 years or, okay, yeah. Because it does seem like it was a slight turn. And I don't know if you noticed, like last year, and people commented, I think we may have commented on how she treated Jacqueline. Like she treated her really mean. So I'm like, why would you be friends with somebody like that? But it makes sense that if Jacqueline felt guilty, she allowed certain behavior to kind of go past because she was like, well, you know, this did happen. So, but yeah.
But I can't see not talking about it after all these years. Like at some point, okay, you're treating me like this. You treat me like a dog. Let me take a step back. Let me give myself some time, a week, a month, whatever, and then let's talk. We need to talk.
Yeah.
What's the issue? Let's break it on down. Boom. This is what the issue is. Okay, well, let me tell you, like none of that happened. Like it took all these years. It took this TV show to rectify what happened decades ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that I don't know. I find that a bit hard to understand.
And okay, I'm trying to understand too, because I do remember Mia talking about it. It seems like Jacqueline had a boyfriend, and Mia, I don't know if she was staying with her, but Mia was there. And she said Jacqueline had left. And I don't know if because to me, I don't know why.
Why would one girl allow the boyfriend to be somewhere with the friend?
Not even necessarily, because I think most of my friends I would trust if I need to leave, but I don't know, because it almost seems like Jacqueline feels guilty, and then Mia kind of blames Jacqueline when I was just like, did she leave because they were fighting, or did she leave? You know,
that's not how she made it sound.
Yeah, she didn't mean it make it sound like that, but I'm just trying to figure out why they're feeling so guilty when it was him that did the wrong
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, but sometimes it works like that where
But
people
I
are
have a
making it one
question.
person.
I wanted to know. So if Jacqueline didn't know for 2 years, how long did she stay with the boyfriend?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, interesting. They need us on the reunion, or maybe we can say they like Lawrence Watson from Houston, Texas. Ask. Maybe we should do that. Okay. Um. Oh my gosh, back upstairs. Sharice mentioned she was like, Candace and Robin. I noticed that y'all didn't say anything to each other, and um, Candace mentioned that she was hoping that they can build a bridge in Dominican Republic, but she was given some information that gave her pause. And the information was that Robin gave a private text message between her and
A
Candace
podcaster.
to a podcaster and a blogger to make Candace look crazy and bad. And um, she was like, that Robin said she gave that to her to explain. I guess the blogger or something may have asked why y'all no longer friends. So she gave that to them to explain it. And Candace was just like, you're a hypocrite. You're trying to act like I'm such a bad person, but you're, sending private information between us to a blogger. Sharice get to slapping the tables like she do when she get drunk. And to me, that was so unnecessary. That's what I mean. Like she trying too hard. To me, what was going on, I didn't even think they were arguing bad enough. Like they were going back and forth, but it wasn't like they were yelling where Sharice needs to slam the table and yell, "Stop this! Oh, enough is enough!" Like I'm just like, Sharice.
So Sharice in her inebriated state, the only thing that I can assume, this is me assuming a whole lot, and I'm probably wrong. In her inebriated state, she was slapping the table because they were talking past each other. It's like they were both giving good information that would help the other to see what was going on in each other's heads. But because they weren't listening, they were just shouting at each other.
Okay.
They couldn't hear. And
that could be it, but
that's
still,
what I'm thinking. Like in that moment, not to excuse her behavior because I thought that was silly. I thought that was like, why are you doing this? This makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to hear what both of them were saying, like I understood where Robin was coming from. Like, would I share your text messages, like our personal text? I don't know if I would do that. But at the same time, like I understood why Robin did it because she wanted to illustrate what was happening. Now, what was in the text, I don't know. I don't even know if I really care.
And sometimes, to me, it seems like Candace may have been saying, like, you chopped off this part of the text where it did make me look crazy, like I'm a bad person. But if you show like what was above and below, that's the full context. But even basically, like, guess if you're gonna call me like I'm defaming you, you did the same thing with this blog and podcaster. But I also see Robin's point. Like, I'm not just like sending random stuff out to people. It's he asked a question, I answered with the text. But yeah.
So I just walked away feeling like this is a bunch of bullshit. Like this is a whole bunch of bullshit. Both of y'all are emotional right now, but I think I still think there's a possibility for the two of them to maybe not be as cool as they once were, but let it die for a minute. Let it die for a minute. If everybody just let it die for a minute, let them calm down, and they might find their way back to each other naturally.
Yeah. Because it seems like there have been little points where they could have if it was just them. Like if it wasn't a show, if it wasn't people looking or saying stuff in their ear, they could just kind of talk it out and be done. But the points where they're talking it out, it's in front of everybody. So of course they're yelling to try to get their point across, and it never works. Like I can't think of a single time, I'm trying to think though, where people are in that environment and they actually work it out. And they be like, okay, it's usually like the reunion or when they're by themselves, but never at those tables. Those tables are the worst. Never try to work out your
but good drama. It probably would have been even better if Sharice hadn't stolen the moment.
That's true. But I think that was her point. And she ain't got but one move, slapping that doggone table. Because she did it twice in this episode, and then she did it in Mexico. I'm just like, give us some variety, Sharice, or something. Throw a crab or something. But yeah. So that was kind of, I think Giselle said, oh, I think she's drunk, which she was clearly. But yeah, but that was kind of the end. They were just like, okay, like enough. Candace left. And yeah, they were still like enjoying those unseasoned crabs. Now, are you? I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had any Baltimore crabs. I mean, like those. I forgot what they call those. I've had that crab. My uncle in California, I forgot. I think it's called crustacean. He took us to a restaurant and they had those crabs and it was really good. Like they had the sauce and stuff, but I haven't had. I hear Maryland is really good for crabs, and I haven't had theirs.
Last time I had, I just heard what I was about to say.
Tell us all about it. We're
live. Never happened. Never happened. Last time I ate crabs, I was like a little kid, and back then, no, I'm serious. Like back then, people used to work offshore and they used to come back with crawfish and fish and crabs and just all kinds of stuff. Like they would buy from my grandmother because everybody loved my grandmother. They would come back and they were like, I brought you this, I brought you this, I brought you this. And we used to eat it so much that now when it comes to seafood, I don't want it.
Wow.
Don't want it.
Oh.
But I love like the corn and the sausage. Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But no, I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, I can still do some seafood, so I'm good. But I don't know if what's funny is, and we can go after this, but do you ever use Old Bay? I guess if you don't eat seafood, you don't really use Old Bay. So I never even, I hadn't really heard of it until I moved to Wisconsin. And it was some restaurant. It was like a seafood restaurant we went to, not like a fancy seafood restaurant, but it's one of those like where, fried shrimp, stuff like that. But they had Old Bay on the table, like salt and pepper. And I was like, what is this? And she was like, oh, it's like seafood seasoning or whatever. And it's good, but it's different than like Tony's and stuff that we're used to. To me, like if you're from the DC, area, DMV, Old Bay is like the stuff like that. You got it in your cabinet. It's I got it in my cabinet now, but yeah, but it's not really a staple for us. But yeah, it's decent. It's heavy on celery salt. I think that's the first ingredient in it. But in any case, but yeah, that was the episode, and I don't remember any previews for. If there were any, I didn't.
You stopped watching.
I know. Like enough for Charisse. Yeah, I don't remember what the next one. So we'll see. It'll be a surprise for us all. But that's it. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what y'all thought about that. Do y'all like Charisse? What do y'all think about NECA? Let us know.
Until next time, y'all have a good one.